Hey, welcome back to the channel. Now, as you may or may not be aware, I have watched a lot of Indian movies because of your suggestions, your comments. I keep track of all of them. So what I did is I put the top 7 movies that have been requested. That's Magadira, Dangal, GGVV, Gangs of Wasipur 1 and 2, Pushpa 777 Charlie, and PK into a randomizer, and we got Pushpa. So yeah, let's talk about it. Pushpa the Rise Part 1 tells the story of a laborer who rises through the ranks of a red sandalwood smuggling syndicate, making some powerful enemies in the process. The movie stars Allu Arjun, Fahad Faasil, Rashmika Mandanna, and Jagadish. It's actually been a while since I've done an Indian movie review, and so it took a couple of minutes, to get back into the swing of things. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was like, oh yes, this is the familiar action, the familiar style, the familiar flavor that I really do enjoy watching. And it helps that in the first couple of minutes, Allu Arjun introduces himself as Pushpa, hardcore Telugu. So yeah, you kind of know what you're going to get with this movie right off the bat. Now, the whole movie circles around this smuggling of red sandalwood, which is very valuable, and this is the only place in the world that you can get it. And the police are trying to stop people from smuggling this red sandalwood out of the country. It's it's not the sexiest setting, but it is interesting because there is a lot of money to be made. And of course, with any sort of money making venture, the vultures come in and there's warring factions and things like that. It's kind of an interesting setup to what I thought was just going to be okay. This feels a lot like KGF right away. One of the things that I've noticed about Indian films is that sometimes the female characters almost feel second rate. They almost feel like afterthoughts. Here in particular, look, I really like Rashmika Mandanna. I watched her in that Netflix movie. I can't remember what the name of it is, but anyway, I really liked her in that and wished that there was more of her in that as well. Here, she's luminous, very likable. There are things about their relationship that I didn't buy quite at first, but I started to see, okay, they're spending a little time here. This is good. But then ultimately our main character makes decisions that doesn't seem like that would fit in with what she would want. And I don't know, it's a strange situation here. It's a bit strange that our character starts out, Pushpa, right? He starts out with apparently no friends, no notoriety, nothing. And his best friend in the movie is someone that watched him crossing his legs and kind of smarting off to a guy, and then he walks off the job, and yeah, he just decides I'm gonna go with this guy. I'm gonna follow this guy. His name's the character's name is Kasava, played by Jagadish. I really enjoyed a lot of his performance in here. A lot of the humor came from him, but I still find it weird that so Pushpa was just didn't have any connection to anybody before that. One of my biggest criticisms for a movie like this, like KGF, like I mean, there's been a few that I've watched like this, where we get to know this character very like just the bare minimum. We don't get to know a whole lot about him, and throughout the movie, by the say the 2 hour mark, we're starting to learn about this character, and we're starting to okay, that's why he's doing this. Oh, that's why this is happening, and this is he's making this decision. But the problem is I've spent all this time with this character and not really know who he is and what he really stands for. And I think that's an issue where I kind of feel like some of that stuff should be at the beginning so that we can be with him when he goes through all this stuff instead of I'm just watching this dude do things. Now, granted, I'm an outsider. These movies are not specifically made for someone like me. So I have to understand that there may be a kind of a disconnect there. But I want to be on this guy's side, but he's not giving me any reason to do so until way later in the movie. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, technically, I think this movie is made well, like really well. It's one of the best produced movies that I've seen on this journey of me watching these Indian films. The sound mix, very aggressive, as per usual for Indian films, but what I really liked here is that most of the music is coming from the surrounds and all the dialogue is coming from the front. There's something I really like about that. The kind of this separation so that you can really focus on that dialogue while the music's going kind of behind you. I really kind of like that. The camera work here is phenomenal. Like, I really, really love the way the camera is moving here. It's the editing is really, really well done in places. I will say that there are some sequences that feel a little over edited, and like there's too many shots. You know, that it's trying to make sort of, let's be honest, kind of mundane sort of things going on, trying to make it more cool, but it's, you know, just back off just a little bit. That's all I'm saying. As in most Indian films, the music numbers are fantastic. I mean, they're really, really well done. The one that really got me and just really stuck in my head was the one at the beginning in the forest. I've never seen one set in a forest sort of setting before, and it was really, really impressive how they used the environment in the, I guess, in the sequence. I really like that. I don't think this is a spoiler, but they bring in Fahad Faasil toward the end of the movie to sort of set up the sequel. He's sort of like this late stage villain here that's going to be in the next movie. And that's, I mean, I think that's kind of interesting because, like, I really liked him in Vikram, which was a big, crazy action movie that I really liked. And maybe that's part of it is, maybe, people in India are more familiar with Allu Arjun. So when, you see him right away, you're automatically on his side. I'm not familiar with him, so I didn't know why should I be on this guy's side? Fahad Faasil, I was like, I like that guy. I like that, even though he's obviously a bad guy here. He's the villain to Pushpa, right? But I really liked him. So maybe that's it. This may be another disconnect because I'm American and not Indian, but it's like there's something about seeing our heroes do things that I don't agree with, like personally don't agree with. It's one of those, it's a sticking point for me. It's one of the things where, like this one was entertaining, but really long. And on top of that, I wasn't really behind the character until about 2/3 of the way through, and then he starts doing stuff that I don't agree with. So it's like it was a hard movie for me to really get behind. I can see why some people were like, "Nah, don't watch this one," just because I don't know if it fits. I guess maybe my style of. I don't know. I don't know why people told me not to watch it. But this is why I'm really enjoying this whole journey, is that even though like this one I didn't connect with this one as much as, some of the other ones I've seen, but it's still interesting to get that whole viewpoint, and to get many different viewpoints from an area of the world that I've never been to and I'm not very familiar with. It's really, really interesting stuff. And I'm going to continue watching them. I mean, I hope people like my reviews, but honestly, I'm just going to keep watching them. So, Pushpa, The Rise Part 1. What did you think of it? I mean, let me know down in the comment section below. And of course, if you have any suggestions for other movies that you would like me to watch, we'll add them to the list. We'll either add them or add to the votes, you know what I mean? I mean, that's how I'm kind of trying to do this, because there's like 400 movies on that list and there's no way I can review all of those. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.